What's up, y'all? This is Henny. Listen, today I want to tell you some quick tips on how to get better quality exports out of Lumafusion for Instagram and, of course, for YouTube. Too many people have been asking me, how do you do this? How do you get good-looking video coming directly out of Lumafusion? Today I want to show you. I want to show you real quick. Let's get into it. Let's go!
The business.
So I know a lot of us out there, starting with Lumafusion, want to get the best quality out to our community, out to those who are watching us, who might possibly be watching us. But a lot of times it's those little things like exporting the video that can really degrade your video or actually getting you to trouble while having a bigger quality video when you don't necessarily need it. Let's break down real quick how to export properly, or how I export my settings on every YouTube video that I do and every, little promo video that I do for social media such as Instagram. Let's break that down right now. Let's get into Lumafusion. So this is a recent video that I just did last week, right? I have all my cuts here. You can see how I basically have everything set up as far as my sequence is concerned. I got all my B-roll things up top. I have all my cuts, my edits, my intro, and my outro. This is how I normally do all my videos on YouTube. Now, when I get done and I'm ready to export, I want to export to movie. And for YouTube, I select YouTube. The thing is, I know a lot of people out there like to export directly to their photos library and then import to YouTube. I never do it that way, and I always have had great success uploading directly from Lumafusion to YouTube. So now you can see right here, it has my basic settings, and my resolution. I shot in 4K. I'm going to export in 4K. Even if you shot your video at 1080p or sometimes even lower, or maybe even like 2K quality, I would still export at 4K quality because YouTube is going to give that a better looking image and compress it better for your video. So always select 4K. It might take a little bit longer for you to upload your video depending on your, your Wi-Fi speeds, your network speeds, what have you. But I would, if you're really looking forward to trying to get that best quality, I would always export in 4K if possible. The biggest thing is video quality, right? Right here it has it starred at 12 megabytes per second. I don't do that. For me, I go to quality, about 75 megabits per second for YouTube. And I've never really had any issues with that. I don't necessarily feel like I need to do extreme or ultra. I usually go right around quality and go to 75 megabits per second, right? And then when I go to video codec, I keep it at H.264. And when I look at audio quality, I keep it wherever it's at. If it was shot and the audio quality was at 44.1 kilohertz, I'm going to keep it at 44.1 kilohertz because I don't want to mess up the syncing of the audio in the video. This video was shot at 48 kilohertz, so I'm going to keep it right there at 48 kilohertz. The video codec is H.264. I'm going to keep it there. And pretty much everything else I keep the same for YouTube. And I go here. I just keep my settings the same. I really don't do tags or description here in the Lumafusion box. I usually do that in the YouTube Studio app on my phone or my iPad. And I go ahead and write the movie, and then it uploads directly to YouTube. It's a great way to just make it smooth, easy, simple, and it always gives me high quality. Let's say you want to do something more for Instagram, right? What I do with my videos, if you can see here, I always duplicate my video so I can make a different format video for Instagram. So what you do here is you see this tab right here. This right here is the duplicate button. I've already duplicated the video, so let me show you exactly what I do for my Instagram edits. So when you duplicate the file, it's going to give you that same sequence, all your cuts, all your chops, everything already there. All I do is I take this button right here, which this little check mark button, and I basically delete all the pieces that I don't want for my Instagram video. Now, like if you're like me and you want to just kind of do like a custom promo, I can easily bring in, this outro piece that I usually use for Instagram. And I'll tell you why in a second, the pros and cons of doing this type of situation for IG. But when I go on to export, I basically have now just a 30-second promo video for Instagram. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to share and export. This time I'm going to use the Photos app instead of YouTube. Of course, we're doing it for social media. Now, right here it's telling me that it wants to give me a resolution of 2K. Depending on your preference of how you want it to be compressed in Instagram or compressed in Twitter or Facebook, I would usually go between 1080p or go to 2K. But I'd only do 2K or higher if I was doing like a video that was longer, like IGTV or maybe something on Facebook that's a little bit longer format. Anything else, I'd probably use 1080p, right? For the video quality, I like having extreme or maybe sometimes ultra, but extreme works pretty well for IG. And then, like I said before, I keep the audio quality the same. And so the video codec is H.264, and this file is basically set up how I need it, and I just export directly to my Photos app. And then from there, I either transfer it to my phone or I, upload it directly from my iPad to Instagram or something like that. Yeah, so the deal about social media and getting your videos up there with good quality is making sure that, you don't have to compress the file too much, right? If you have a 1080p file for Instagram, for Twitter, sometimes for Facebook, even for TikTok, things like that, they're compressing those files so fast to get it out as quick as possible that it's really going to crunch that file down. And if you have a 4K file or anything higher, it's going to take all that quality and just smush it, right? But if you have a 1080p file or something smaller, it doesn't have to compress it as much because it's already a smaller form file that it's easily to upload to those platforms. And I've seen great success by doing it that way instead of taking like a 4K file or a bigger file for Instagram. But you always want to make sure that video quality is pretty good, because when it compresses, you still want those bits in there, that 70 megabits per second or 75 megabits per second on YouTube, to be able to get those bits shrunken down and have a better compression so that the viewer is going to say, wow, your video looks nice and clean. That's basically it. But I want to tell you these tips as far as how it goes with Instagram, for Twitter, for YouTube, when it comes to thinking about taking a long form video and making it into short form pieces for your social media. The biggest concern that I have with what I'm doing with the promo videos is most social platforms do not want you to take users off the platform. So for instance, the fact that I'm doing a promo video and I want people to go to YouTube is actually not what Instagram wants you to do. They want to keep you on that platform. So, you might start seeing, your video might not get as many views as if you're doing, reels or something that keeps, people on that platform. All the algorithms for YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything, they want to keep you right there on those platforms. So my strategy for you in 2021 would be to find a way to take that long form piece that you want for YouTube and take it into a piece that can stay just on IG, just on Twitter, just on TikTok, right? Whether you're doing Reels, whether you're doing TikToks, even if you want to take that short video and turn it into a short on YouTube, these are all good ways to keep people, keep the algorithm pushing your video out to users. And like I said, if you try to take your content and bring people to another platform, the algorithm is going to constantly push your basically your video down, so not as many people use it. So just like you, I'm trying to find the best ways to go about getting my content out there so that on each platform it stays on that platform, but I also have the content in different other platforms to make sure that I'm doing exactly what I need to do for my just for my branding strategy. But that's about it. If you have any other questions about how we're doing this, how you can do certain things on Lumafusion, you can always hit me in that comment section below. And let's talk about what are any other tips that you guys might have for getting the best content out there for social platforms, for YouTube, and getting the best quality as possible. Hey, I'm just out here to give you those quick tips and tricks on this early Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are being safe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Hit 'em out!